like to welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to today's press conference for the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. We're going to come to CEO and founder, President David Feldman, and the fighter shortly. But first of all, I'd like to introduce you to a British boxing legend, Mr. David Haye, former cruiserweight and heavyweight champion of the world. David, how are you?
I'm not bad. I'm really good. Really rough.
Now, I know you've had a few bare knuckle fights in your time. You were a little kid then. It was on the way home from school normally, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've had a few bare knuckle fights in my time. I got into boxing when I was 10, so not that many. A couple here and there. I try to have as few as possible, but really excited about this. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship coming to the UK. Followed it in the States, and I think it's got a massive, massive future, and very excited. Obviously, MVP and Perry. It's going to be explosive.
Now, you're a brand ambassador for BKFC. Tell us about why you think this can take off in the UK and Europe.
I think there are demographics that want action. They want toe-to-toe action. They want explosive contest. There are some people out there who don't like a 12-round, slick, Lomachenko, Rigondo type of fight where you, for me, I love that stuff. Some people don't like a marathon, they like a sprint, you know, and this is a perfect sport for that. You know, if you're a boxing fan who loves action, who loves knockouts, the chance of a knockout in bare knuckle fighting is significantly higher. The chance for injury long term is a lot less. Only 10 minutes of action versus 36 minutes in boxing. I think
with Mr. Feldman,
yeah,
but
maybe with Mr. Feldman, but no, I'm happily retired. 42 coming up now, so definitely on the right side of the ropes for the moment, and that's it for the moment. But no, I just love fighting. I'm a combat sports fan. I love mixed martial arts. I love kickboxing. I love karate. I love fighting, and this is bringing the best of all the disciplines and stick them in a boxing match in a short time period, 5 2-minute rounds, going toe to toe. What more could you want in terms of excitement and entertainment?
Well, as I say, David Haye is a brand ambassador for BKFC, and for the media here, David will be able to speak to you about why he's supporting this movement and this fight league. Thank you, David.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
We will have the main press conference with Platinum Mike Perry. He didn't use the opportunity just now, by the way, when he was at Buckingham Palace, to realise the Queen's just had her platinum, of course. You missed a line there. Unusual for you. Mike will be up on the dais with Michael Venom Page shortly, of course, with a few others. I just want to introduce a man on the end there as well for the media, Paul Nichols from ISCA, who is overseeing and supervising the event. So if anyone from the media wants to understand how the event is being supervised, please do ask Paul. He's going to be available for interviews, and you may be able to ask him during the press conference. But for now, I'm going to hand over to the most important man here, of course, who's put it all together, David Feldman, to talk us through the undercard. Thank you, David.
Thanks, guys. It's really great being here. The UK has a very, very rich and deep heritage in bare knuckle. We actually have a legend here with us that wasn't introduced, but this is a guy, bare knuckle started, you know, a century ago or over a century ago, but in the modern time, it was kind of pioneered by a guy named James Quinn McDonough, and we have James Quinn McDonough right here in attendance. He did a documentary called Knuckle, a legend in bare knuckle. Great to have you here, James. It's just amazing to be here where we are today, from starting in warehouses, starting in fields, then going into an ice rink in June 2nd, 2018, becoming the first legal sanctioned and regulated bare knuckle fighting company ever in the history of the world, to now being able to put on this tremendous event here August 20th at the Wembley Arena. It's just a really big thing for our organization, but a really great thing for the sport of bare knuckle, to put on an event of this magnitude and to be able to grow the sport as it's growing. And we have a tremendous undercard here, and I just wanted to pass the mic off to some of the guys that are going to be fighting on this card. And thank you, Paul Nichols, for for representing us. I know he said ISKA. It's ISKA is what it stands for. It's a regulatory body that's all over the world, the largest regulatory body all over the world, and they're going to regulate Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship on August 20th, so thank you. So I'm just going to pass the mic over here, and we're going to start down, and we're going to hand it down just so everybody can introduce themselves a little bit and tell them a little bit about why they are fighting for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and the excitement around it.
So I'm Chaz Simons, used to be an ex-professional boxer, Southern Area champion, honours of getting a draw for a world title, retired, rolled over to bare knuckle boxing, found BFBA Andy, took me under his wing, and I loved it. It's short, it's explosive, it's fast. There's not 12 rounds sitting down and getting many injuries along the way. With the bare knuckle, I just think it's very, very sharp, very quick, and it's a great sport, and it's taken over, and it's an honour to be fighting at Wembley in London, my hometown. I sell many tickets. I'm big on social media, and yeah, it's going to be entertaining, and it's great to be on the BKFC show, be amongst the big boys, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the show. Thank you.
Hello everyone, David Volczyk. I'm Polish originally, been on the fight scene about 11 years now, done some K1, got MMA, then moved into the bare knuckle, got 7 bare knuckle fights under my belt now, 5 wins, 2 losses on Gronda, which is the Polish show, so I fought 2 8-man tournaments. Yeah, I'm very excited to be on the card of BKFC, I think the biggest in the world. And looking forward to it, fight in Wembley. It's going to be great fun. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Now I'm going to pass it off to Jamie Cox. Jamie is a contender in professional boxing, fought really everybody around. A very good record, Jamie.
Hello everybody. I'm excited to be here. This is going to be my introduction into the sport of bare knuckle boxing. It gave me the bit between my teeth, and it brings a new dimension. David's really blowing up the sport now. BKFC is going to be mega. It's combining all the sports, some hard cases, the boxers, the UFC fighters, and it's really exciting times to throw them all in the mix and see who comes out on top. And I'm looking to go and get that BKFC world title. So yeah, that's my goal, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. Thanks very much.
I'm Danny Christie, new to bare knuckle. I've had a bare knuckle fight last November, which blew up. I've got an amateur record and an unlicensed record of 30 fights, 23 wins. And I always thought that the window was kind of closing for us at 37. I've got a high mileage body, but I've been back in the gym 7 weeks now, feeling good. And when the call came to fight for the BKFC, it was an opportunity I wasn't going to turn down. I've certainly got enough left in the tank to make some serious waves, and I want to know how I get on with the best of the bare knuckle lads in my division. I'm doing this for me. I want to see how I can hold up with these boys. Thank you everybody for listening. Cheers.
Chris Fishgold, a former Cage Warriors lightweight champion, and then had a couple in the UFC before that. I'm basically getting on this, jumping in the bare knuckle just because I love to fight. I love everything about it, and they're paying me decent, pretty much.
Are these live? Yeah, perfect. Right, so just to give you a little bit of insight, as Dave said, the event is going to be sanctioned by the ISKA. My involvement in this, it's due diligence really, it's mainly about the fighter safety, the appointment of the officials, etc. So, excluding the appointment of the officials, we will have 2 American referees joining us. We've got, and excuse my pronunciations, it's Dan Mercilado, I believe, and Andrew Glenn from the US. They will be the main referees. Thank you very much for the correction on that. And from ISKA, we will have Mike Belgrave. A lot of you know him. He's been on the scene for many years, highly experienced referee. So he will be here from the ISKA UK representing the officials. Besides that, I've picked the official team. I believe that it's the cream of officials with a vast amount of experience within the UK that will deliver and serve this event. And have a great understanding of what's needed, certainly within the scoring criteria, and again, the due diligence for the fighters. Each fighter will be subject to a real rigorous medical. That includes an eye examination. There will be tested for HEPs, that will be B and C, HIV, along with MRI scan. So again, that will be pre and post medicals. Safety is everything for us, and the ISKA, we want to ensure that the fighter's safety is paramount. Is there any questions at all? No, well, thank you very much and look forward to seeing you all on the 20th. Thank you.
David, can I ask you, what brought about your idea and when did it germinate that you would come to London?
Just by growing the sport of bare knuckle, really starting it out in the United States and it just going worldwide to where our February event was seen live by 17 million people worldwide. Just thought it was a good time to cross the pond and come here to where it originated. And, was trying to think of a great main event, and we have the best and most anticipated main event for a fight that nobody knew that they wanted, and now they all want it. Mike Perry versus MVP.
Can I ask Jamie Cox? Jamie, obviously, well known as a boxer here. You were in some very prominent tournaments. You fought some big names. What made you want to go over to bare knuckle to try it out?
It just come upon me, really. My friend was talking about it, and I was out of boxing for a while, and it just gave it a bit between my teeth, and I really fancied it, and it gave me some drive, and I spoke to David, and we come up with a plan, and I'm ready. It really got me focused, and I'm looking forward to the challenge ahead. And it's growing big. I think it's a good time to get involved with it now.
Do you think it's something that will be really fully embraced by the British audience? Because we do have amazing fight fans in the UK.
The public here love a scrap, so no better one than to have a bare knuckles fight, especially with the platform here, and the biggest platform in the world, I think, for the bare knuckle boxing. So I'm looking forward to it and put on a good show out there.
Maybe I could ask Chris Fishgold. Obviously, you've been a champion here in Europe. You've fought in the UFC. Do you think we're going to see more pronounced fighters like Mike, like MVP, like yourselves here, crossing over to have a go at bare knuckle? It's another discipline, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think the evolution of the sport, look where MMA was 20 years ago, and just look how mainstream that is now. And I think this is just going to follow suit. This is the most exciting part of the MMA fight all the way through it. People want to see two people stand there and bang, and that's what you're getting from start to finish with this. So yeah, definitely this is going to be what all the kids are going to want to do.
Maybe I could ask this question to Danny. Is it a different kind of preparation for bare knuckle compared to with gloves?
Yeah, I think it's slightly different. For me, it's very different in sparring. I don't sort of waste any punches in bare knuckle, and I'm certainly not willing to pull the trigger, unless I know I can connect. I just love to fight. I love to fight, and just to get the chance to do it on the big stage at Wembley for the BKFC, I'm very, very proud, very privileged, and honoured to be a part of it.
Brilliant. And maybe I could just bring Paul Nichols in here. Obviously, we heard what you had to say about the regulatory process for this. I understand that the ABC of America is also involved in the regulatory process.
Yeah, that's correct. We'll be joined by the President, Brian Dunn. He'll be from the ABC, is the Association of the American Boxing Commission. Ryan has a vast amount of experience. He'll be coming over here to oversee all the American fighters, basically just so when they go back, they won't be serving any immediate suspensions, etc. So yeah, Ryan will be here for the American support. And again, you know, we will learn and evolve from his, you know, vast amount of experience and take that forward for future events as well.
Don't want to leave anybody out on the top table. David, fight sports are huge in Poland. You've been here a long time. I think almost 20 years you've lived in the UK, 19 years in the UK.
Years.
You going to bring Polish support over for this as well?
Well, I'm hoping for a lot of supporters, obviously from the Polish side as well.
And the bigger guys in bare knuckle fighting, we say one punch can change anything in the heavyweights in MMA and boxing. What's it like in bare knuckle? Because you are the biggest guys with the most power.
Well, in bare knuckle, it's easy to get an injury, sustain an injury, even if the fighter is lightweight. In Poland, where on the show where I fight, there's no weight categories. I fought guys lighter than me, 20, 30 kilo. And then actually in the final, I've lost against a very explosive fella. He was 90 kilo, I was 120. So in bare knuckle, it's different. Same like different is with the training. You just got to be fast, and then you go watch the injuries, watch your hands. It's very different.
And finally, Chazza, you've come looking like it's the occasion. Central London, brought your bling with you. Obviously, we know you in boxing in the UK. You've come to bare knuckle. Tell us about how you've come to it.
I just fell out of love with boxing. Couple of bad decisions. Had 4 years out, and then recognised the bare knuckle boxing was on the up, and thought I'll have a go. I enjoyed it. I've had 4 now, won 3, lost 1, and listen, I ain't no spring chicken. So I need to impress on the BKFC, and that's something I'm willing to do. I entertain. Now it's time to get me nut down and take someone's jaw for a walk and let everyone see what I'm about. And I'm sure Dave will be calling me to America next. But listen, this is going to be a great show to be amongst. It's going to be exciting, and it's going to be a sellout. I've got so many people that it's going to go off. And whatnot from a London boy fighting in London. It's the cream.
And the home of bare knuckle fighting, of course,
And
the
the
London
home.
prize fighting. We'll come to that in a minute. David, I don't know if you have any closing remarks before we close the undercard press conference and move to the main event press conference.
It's just great to have these warriors on this card. You know, I've been in boxing my whole life. I promoted mixed martial arts. I was a former professional boxer myself, but there's nothing like this. This is a whole different animal. And for these, you know, men, and we do have a women's fight on the card, are these men and women to, you know, take the gloves off and show what they have in front of all their fans, and really, in front of the world, shows, you know, a tremendous amount of heart and character that they have. Also, just wanted to let everybody know tickets are officially on sale right now today at the Wembley Arena box office or at bkfc.com. Tickets are on sale now, and the pre-sale went extremely well. Tickets are selling fast. I expect it to be sold out in about 2 weeks, so get your tickets as soon as you can.
Thank you very much, David. We're going to have a brief pause. All the fighters are available for the media for interviews and questions before we set for the main press conference.
I'm the one and only MVP, Michael Venom Page. Entertaining, unusual, unique. I like to do stuff that doesn't necessarily make sense.
Platinum Mike Perry!
I think I'm one of the toughest men on the planet. It may not always be pretty, but damn it, you can't beat me. We'll see if he ever comes forward at all.
I want to go in there, I want to land shots and not be touched. I'm more a sniper.
Like I said, man, if he's there at the end of it, well, he'll be bleeding.
Connor, the Brumtown Bomber, Tierney! Joe Hitman 187, Elmore!
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to today's press conference for the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. London holds a special place in the history of pugilism. For several hundred years, London was the pinnacle of the prize fighting circuit. If you were champion of London, you were champion of the world. Jack Figg was the first recognised national champion. He became the first bare knuckle champion of England in 1719 and held the title until his retirement in 1730. He was followed by legendary names like Jack Broughton, Daniel Mendoza and Jem Mace, who all fought their way into the history books right here in this city. There were even female competitors. Elizabeth Wilkinson was one of the first female bare knuckle champions. She held her title through the 1720s and was also renowned for her skill with short swords, daggers and quarterstaffs. None of that on BKFC, obviously. Now we're here on the verge of making history again. On Saturday, August the 20th, the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship will host the first legally sanctioned bare knuckle fights to take place in London since the Marquess of Queensberry rules were introduced 155 years ago. History in itself. This is a landmark event because it's the first BKFC event ever to take place in Europe, I believe, because you've been to Thailand and you've been to Mexico as well. The August event at Wembley Arena will be the 45th event BKFC has staged and marks the return of professional prize fighting to its spiritual home. Today, BKFC is the fastest growing combat sports promotion in the world, and this highly anticipated UK debut is expected to sell out quickly. For the housekeeping, tickets are on sale now via bkfc.com and access.com. For those who can't attend in person, this event will be televised in 60 countries and can also be watched on pay-per-view TV via Fight TV and or the official BKFC app. That's all from me for now. I'd like to hand over to BKFC President David Feldman for his opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, guys, thank you so much. It's great to be here in London, in downtown London. We just came from the palace to take some pictures. It was great over there. This is the first legally sanctioned and regulated bare knuckle fight in over 150 years in London. Really the first legally sanctioned and regulated bare knuckle fight ever in the history of the United Kingdom. We're running toward regulation here. We want to be regulated. We want to be accepted amongst all the top regulatory bodies in boxing, mixed martial arts, Muay Thai, kickboxing, any really legitimate combat sport around the world. I'm very excited to be here. I have some really big things that we're going to do with BKFC here in the UK. We have some huge plans for this, but to make our debut at the famed Wembley Arena is really something else, and I'm very, very happy for the fighters and for the organization to be able to host the event here. We were talking about doing an event here on July 16th, and we pushed it back as we were assembling. Me and Andrew Bakewell. Andrew Bakewell he owns a company called Bare Fist Boxing Association. He's helping us out with the undercard. He's kind of overseeing the undercard. We put one hell of an undercard together, and we had a main event, and it fell through because he took a boxing match. And I'm talking to my friend David Haye, and I'm asking him, what do you think? Who do you think we can get? And he said, MVP. And I had Mike Perry scheduled to fight in Florida, and I said, you know what, let's do Mike Perry versus MVP. And then we had some talks with Bellator, and we were able to get MVP released for this fight. So I think we have one hell of a main event to make our debut for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship here in the UK. Really, like I said, the most anticipated fight that nobody knew that they wanted, and now that it's here, everybody wants it and can't wait to see this fight. MVP versus Mike Perry, no gloves, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, August 20th, Wembley Arena. I'm very, very excited for this event and the undercard. And the one thing that I actually just confirmed a few minutes ago, so it's new to some of the press here, and they didn't know, that Paige Van Zandt will be the featured bout of the evening on this card. So Paige Van Zandt will also be having her third trip in the squared circle here at the Wembley Arena.
David, could I just ask you one question? Can I get you to stand at the dais as well? because I'm being told by the director, so can you get David up there? Did you know about the history of London prize fighting, and is that one of the reasons why you had it as a target and an ambition to come here at some point?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, as I mentioned, James Quinn, I introduced him earlier, and another friend of mine, Bobby Gunn. They're the ones that got me talking about and thinking about doing the bare knuckle fights, because as the travelers would do bare knuckle fights in the fields, and they would bet money on it to solve family disputes.
Fair fights.
And then I started, you know, kind of dove into it and said, you know what, let me bring this to the mainstream, let me get this a shot, and everybody thought I was crazy. And back in 2011, I did my first bare knuckle fight in the United States with 700,000 live pay-per-view viewers with one bare knuckle fight on the card. So I knew that this had a place here in combat sports, and it all started here. It all started here in the UK to bring it back home in a new modern way with modern rule set, but with the same old, you know, pureness and rawness that bare knuckle fighting brings. You know, it's awesome to be here.
Before I get you to throw to the fighters on the dais, if you were going to have a bare knuckle fight now, who would you fancy it against?
Me? Yeah. David Haye.
Now I see. Okay, I'll leave it to you to introduce the fighters. I'll come back. I'm leaving it to you to introduce your fighters.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were coming up to do that. So look, we put together one hell of a main event, but we have a great undercard. And one guy made his debut for us, I believe it was in March, in New York. Sensational debut. I think he's a future star at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. But as we do with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, we don't give you any easy entrances. He fought a really tough customer there. He got dropped, got back up, and knocked his opponent out. And now he's fighting one of the toughest guys in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, Joe Elmore. So I'd like to bring up and introduce to him, which I think is the future star of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, Connor Tierney.
Well, I'm Connor, the Brumtown Bomber Tierney. What can I say about my last opponent? It was tough. Got a tough state, but I ate him. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to August the 20th, fighting on the fastest growing combat sports promotion in the world right now. You know, and it's not every day you look at a fighter who looks as good looking as me and think he's a bare knuckle fighter. And I've got a lot to give. I'm slick, I'm tall, got good footwork, I can box, I'm skillful, you know, and I can bang as well. And I proved that knocking out a 175-pound fighter on March the 12th in New York. And like Dave said, I am going to be a superstar, global superstar pending and all that. You know, and I'm looking forward to it. And I just want to, you know, say a big thank you to Dave and BKFC for having me on the card on a big fight such as this, and the magnitude of, you know, MVP fighting Mike Perry on the main event. And you know, just to say that I've been on a card like this, it's just subliminal, really, isn't it? You know what I mean? And I'm just going to keep growing every fight, you know, practicing, you know, and practice makes perfect. And I'm still not excelled to the fighter I can be. There's a couple of two guys that just fought recently for the 165-pound world title, Palomino and Brito. After I come through Joe Elmore, little Palomino is a little 155er. That's the fight I want. And we can get it any place, any time, anywhere. And I'll come take them belts from him. And I'm going to be the new 165-pound future superstar of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Connor. Like I said, he likes to promote himself. I think that, you know, I think he's got a future here. Also want to bring up to the stage, to the dais. He's a legend in UK mixed martial arts. He's a very popular guy, been on some TV shows here, Tony Giles.
Honour to meet you, my man. And you forgot the Rhino. Yes. And I look forward to fighting August 20th, especially in front of a legend there himself, James Queen McDonough. I'm from the gypsy background, and as I say, that Look, I wear this flag on my arm, the green, red and the blue. So therefore, I thought this sport, it needs a gypsy in it. Fellow man, Bobby Gunn, done very well. So I'm in here, me and Michael, we've fought on shows before. I look forward to going, having a little bit of a tear up. What can you do? August 20th. Where's my opponent at, by the way? Come on. My glasses, is he it? Is my opponent it? Okay, no, I had a little message for him, but it don't matter. You're still going to have to wait. Is it? Thank you, mother.
And finally, before we get to the main event, this guy, you know, a lot of guys say that he's probably the best heavyweight in bare knuckle fighting. He came over to the United States. He had COVID, got better, and then stepped in the ring and wasn't 100%. But he's going to make a second appearance here in the squared circle. First time, obviously, in the UK. Let's bring up Mick Terrell.
All right. Not really sure what to say, but I didn't really do as well as I should have last time. I want to try and rectify that this time. I've been training hard for 8 months. Monty keeps telling us I'm fighting every month, so I've trained every month. But I think, who am I fighting? Shoemaker. Shoemaker's coming off a loss. I'm coming off a loss, so looks like we're both going to go head to head, bang in, see who moves forward in the sport. But thanks for coming anyways. Cheers.
Thank you. You know, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, our growth is just unbelievable. We're growing all over the world. We are, as he said, this event here will be seen live in over 60 countries by different platform and television deals we have all over the world. So this isn't just something we're trying to put together here and see if it works. It's working wonders. And to make the UK debut, like I said, at the Wembley Arena, it's going to be fantastic. And it's going to be even better that we get to put on a main event that we have here. As I said earlier, you know, I was trying to figure out what that main event would look like. And here we are with, you know, one of the most talked about combat sporting events, or definitely one of the most talked about main events of the entire summer for any combat sport or any combat sport organization in the world. We have a guy that is a legend in mixed martial arts. He's a star for Bellator. He's a professional boxer, and now he's going to take the gloves off and fight one of our tough guys, Mike Perry, right here from London. Your own MVP, Michael Venom Page.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's excited, as I am to be here. It was a fight that nobody anticipated, and now that it's here, everyone's just super excited to, and can't wait for it to happen. Same as myself, I had my last fight. It didn't go according to plan. Lost that fight, and I was told I wasn't going to be able to fight for a little while. Even though it didn't go according to plan, I was fresh. I went 5 rounds, but I didn't have not a bruise on me, not a cut on me, no swelling, no nothing. And to be told that I now have to sit down and wait for ages, it just wasn't an option. So straight away I was like, let me start looking out for some things. But weirdly enough, David Haye's a good friend of my coach, and presented it to my coach. Just happened to be around that kind of time. My coach presented it to me, and I was like, yeah, you know what, that's it, just perfectly timed. Things just seemed to fall in the right place. I didn't think Bellator was going to go for it though, but I pushed it their way, and they were happy in the time I'm not going to be active anyway. They were happy to let me fight, and I think that's a big statement for them. They're also looking to do things with other organizations. I think mixed martial arts, this kind of stuff should be happening a bit more regularly, and they seem to be the front runners to actually making these collaborations happen. They've done stuff in Japan with other organizations. There's talks of them doing stuff with Eagle FC, and obviously right now BKFC. They're partnered with. So it's great that they've allowed me to do that, because I think it's a big statement for them, and it's great for me. I think it's good for the BKFC as well. And then to get an opponent, Mike Perry, we already know he's gonna come with some action. So the fight itself, you don't even need to worry about. Just make sure you turn up, show up. We'll do the rest.
Thanks, Michael. Now we have his opponent in this epic main event for August 20th at the Wembley Arena. He's 1-0 in bare knuckle fighting championship, a veteran of 15 fights in the UFC. Platinum Mike Perry.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm 1-0 sanctioned bare knuckle. I'm 100-0. All I ever do is win. I get this money. I fight. I show up. I support other fighters. I support the fight business, and I give the fight business real fights. I come and I put on. I go forward. I put the pressure. I take hits and I eat them like candy.
Yes, Mike. Yes.
I'm looking forward to fighting against MVP. He's got surreal highlight reel. We both knocked people unconscious. We both had very entertaining fights and careers. It brings a couple sides of the platform of the sport together in what I would call the realest of fighting. You tell me any fighter in the world, the best fighters in the world, they don't want no problem with me 10 minutes inside a bare knuckle ring. I guarantee you. August 20th, baby, let's go.
What makes you think, Platinum Mike Perry, that you can give one of the great knockout artists from combat sports trouble in a ring in London in his hometown?
You know, it's only right that the Queen called my people and said, listen, it's the year of the Platinum Jubilee. And it's only right that we have Platinum Mike Perry out here. She's great. You know, last time I talked to her, she was doing really well. So I'm happy to be here in London. It's UK versus USA. It's USA versus UK. But the UK fans are the absolute best fight fans on the planet. I can't deny it. Between Irish people, between European, English people, British, whatever you want to say, this side of the globe really gets in and supports their fighters. So I'm looking to make a statement and, you know, let the Americans know that they gotta get behind it.
We know that you have a berserker style and a berserker personality that is very compelling. Your narrative draws viewers to you. What kind of problems is the longer reach, the movement, the danger, the knockout skills that MVP brings?
Listen, I don't want to scare you away, MVP. I'm grateful for the opportunity to get to fight you. You're a great name. You've had an awesome career. I'm gonna break your hands with my forehead.
USA!
I'm going to put pressure on you constantly, and there's nothing you're gonna do to get me off. I'm constantly gonna be in your face, throwing heat. And bare knuckle, boy, I'll tell you, I'm gonna cut you open.
Michael, London's your home. You've fought here many, many times. We know that Mike brings real heat. We know that he's serious. Tell us the problems or the puzzles that you're going to set for him when he steps into that ring with you.
Yeah, no, Mike Perry's, you know, as he says, he's going to come forward. He's an aggressive fighter, and I've been in front of many, though, you know. Very few fighters have been in front of fighters like myself, because there's very few of us. Yeah, I'm walking a Rubik's Cube for fighting, and a lot of people are too stupid to work it out. And that's what it's going to be. You know, he's going to come forward, he's aggressive, he hits hard, but you're only as hard hitting if you land on your target. I'm a person that doesn't get hit very regularly at all. Like I said, I went, you know, 5-minute rounds in my last fight and came out unscathed. Very few people can say that, yeah? So that's my style. I'm a sniper, I pick my punches, and it's this kind of style, this kind of fight suits me very well. So I'm just going in there to be me. Everyone's like, are you going to change what you do? No, I've never changed what I've done. Even when I lost, I came back, I didn't change what I did. Came back, did exactly the same thing. I was myself, I'm MVP every single time I step in any combat arena, and that's exactly what I'm going to do again now.
Are you looking for another highlight reel knockout?
I'm a walking highlight reel. It doesn't really matter what I do. You know, I'm going to make noise. Just the announcement itself made noise. Everyone's getting crazy. Everyone's like, what the hell's going on here? I like to make noise. So again, 100%, when I step in for this bare knuckle fight, there's going to be an exciting highlight reel, definitely.
You're renowned for your kicks, your knees, your elbows. You know, you're from freestyle kickboxing. What's going to be different about, obviously you've boxed as well, what's going to be different for you about training bare knuckle?
Yeah, we've already made the adjustments and so on and so forth, but it's more similar to, you know, training boxing. There's a couple of different things you have to do from my conditioning and so on and so forth, but even when I went over to boxing, people are like, you know, you're going to struggle without certain tools, and there's certain horror stories in boxing camps about me going to their gym. I can box, so it's not an issue. Me not being able to use my legs, and that is just one aspect of me. I've knocked many people out with just my hands. I've gone into boxing, I've boxed. I didn't get to do as long as I want to, and you know, you may see me there again, but you know, this is going to be the representation of boxing, because just without the gloves, which is more dangerous for my opponent, because my accuracy is high.
Is there a danger, if it's a danger, that you actually enjoy this so much that you ain't going anywhere else?
That's it. That is definitely a danger. Just from looking at some of the fights, I already know I'm going to enjoy it. And I enjoy combat anyway, so I'm definitely going to enjoy it. And you're most likely going to see me here again, I'm sure. But for now, I want to focus on the fight at hand.
We're going to break the stage shortly, and all the fighters will be available to the media here for one-on-ones. David, do you have any closing remarks?
You know, I'm just super excited. Like I said, it's going to be a fantastic, historic event. Bare knuckle fighting is the heritage of all combat sports, is where it all started, and here we are in a new revolutionary, modern way at the Wembley Arena. MVP versus Mike Perry. You know, I just don't know. I just wanted to see if Mike, I was in the lobby with him earlier, and he was singing a song, and I didn't know if he wanted to sing that song here at the press conference, but he might want to.
MVP is going down, going down, going down. MVP is falling down, Platinum Perry.
The dais and the tables are going to be removed now for face-offs, if you can just bear with us for one moment. Thank you very much.
Last